with a man who is just, I mean, he's like my brother-in-law, Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, come on. Well, we should explain.
Why you're my brother-in-law?
Yes.
Because you married a woman that, her name is Nancy. And Nancy and I, 30 years ago this year, opened up a company called Flower Films, which is our production company.
So Nancy produced this movie with you, they did Fever Pitch, and that was our big...
It was ironic, too, because we were on the press junket for 50 First Dates in Hawaii, and I passed by her, and she had a script in her hand, and she goes, ugh. And she was always the finder of everything. It was her that came in and was like, dude, they're making Charlie's Angels over at Sony. There's no script yet. I want in. And I was like, I now can't eat lunch. I'm sick to my stomach. We have to figure this out.
She's good.
She found Donnie Darko.
She's got good taste.
She has impeccable taste. And so she had this script.
Look at her husband.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Hello?
I mean, that is unbelievable taste.
So
I'm very lucky.
She's holding this script, and it's written by this team of writers called Lowell and Babalu, and they wrote Parenthood and Splash and the most incredible films. And she's like, I think this is something we need to do. And so we did. We found the Farrelly brothers who directed it.
The Farrelly brothers were so fun, and they directed this movie. Lowell Gans, Pablo Mendel. So it's about like a person who loves their team, but then meets someone that they actually fall in love with. And what do you choose, your team or the person you fall in love with?
It's also a theme about, much like 50 First Dates, like Nan and I wanted to make love stories that were a little more like about real life. Douglas, I hear you, come on. Come on.
Are you wearing?
And like 50 First Dates was like, how do you make love stay? And Fever Pitch was about how do you, first of all, every relationship you enter, there's going to be something. That is a big part of the movie. And that's such a good question about when you enter a duo with someone and they've got an obsession, how do you live with that? And then also, what if that obsession constantly lets you down? Like the Red Sox were always letting Ben's character down. And it was a Nick Hornby novel, and that was like about Manchester and Arsenal.
Yes.
But, you know, a sports fanatic whose team's always letting him down.
In our movie, by the way, they weren't supposed to win the World Series.
No, it was about a losing team.
Yes. You just love them no matter what. You just love the team. The Red Sox notoriously just lose.
And how also are you going to be married to someone who, like, on the delivery date of your child is like, but the Red Sox are playing...
In the playoffs, so I gotta go. Yeah.
Like, how do you navigate that? And it's always going to be something with someone. You're always going to have to contend with something. But the original ending was the Red Sox lost because they hadn't won in 81 years.
86 years.
Really?
Yeah, 86 years. What happened at the real original ending was we're dressed as old people in the future.
We found our way.
We found our way, and they finally win the World Series in the future. As we're filming, this is baseball history.
Yes.
As we're filming this film, they make it into the wild card. Then they make it into the playoffs. It's the most magical year ever.
And we happen to have cameras at every single one of these games. So everything you see is so real and authentic, and we're like...
You can't redo this. No, you could never remake this. We're like, are we doing this? Yeah, I remember like first getting there, and people were like, hey, Jimmy, you're a Yankee fan, or whatever, sit down, you know, because we're like, oh, Jimmy, yeah, you know, you suck, or whatever, I don't know. And then by the fourth game, as they're winning, they're like, Jimmy, it's my wife, Linda, this is Linda's Jimmy, like, because we were good luck.
We were good luck, and but then we got scared because we were flying down to the final game of the World Series, and Fox Sports said, we'll let you use our cameras. You cannot bring movie cameras to the finale, if that's what you call the World Series. I don't think it is. I just showed what a lame-o I am. No, you know, the big... So we're flying down and we're like, wait, what if we're not the good luck? What if we're the curse? What if we're the thing?
So
because
stressful.
we're trying to film a movie in the middle of their game. We screw them up. What if a Buckner happens? What if this happens? We were freaking out all the way down to St. Louis. By the way, my boyfriend at the time, Fabrizio Moretti, hi Fabi. I forgot to tell him that I didn't want to say anything, so he is watching the series finale of the of the Red Sox. And there we are in the field kissing.
No one knew anything because they were like, what movie? No one knows that we're in a movie.
I still have the sand from the mound.
Oh, me too?
Yeah.
What was the most magical thing? Because the Boston fans, they weren't just like, yeah, we won. They were crying. And they were like, can I talk to Dad? And and if you drove past a graveyard in Boston, every grave had like a pennant on it or a hat because they never got to see their team win. It was magical. There was so much spirit and good vibes in Boston that day. It was just the best time ever. Come on. But the best thing that came out of that is I married the producer and have 2 little girls with the producer. That's my wife. That's fun.
I think traditions are something that I really discovered with Nan and her family. I would spend every Christmas and holiday with them. And I feel like I became, at 19 years old when I met Nan, that's her, that's us when we were younger.
Yeah, that's nice.
And she really helped me feel like things could be more permanent. I was such a sort of transient, groovy, wildling, and she was just so grounding for me. And you just had your 50th birthday.
I did, yeah.
And you guys, I don't understand your birthday traditions. They're so beautiful and so out of some insane movie. What did you guys do this year? First of all, I was waiting for the party and it never happened.
I didn't do it. I didn't do a big party at all. I woke up. My wife made me this Pee Wee Herman breakfast, which I've had since I was 12 years old. It's a pancake with fried eggs for eyeballs. She does a fake Mr. T cereal, which doesn't exist anymore. And then the kids brought me over to this giant package. And it was a big, kind of square thing. And I go, all right, okay, cool. And when I grew up, my dad had a jukebox. And he got it for free from the VFW because it was broken. And he goes, if I can fix it, can I have it? And they go, sure. My dad fixed it. And so we had a jukebox in our house. So we had all these old 45s on this jukebox in our house. And then eventually it just broke again. And then we just gave it away or threw it out or something. So 2 years ago, my friend calls Nancy and goes, if you want a good gift for Jimmy, I think I saw his dad's jukebox at an electronics store. And she's like, what? And so she buys the jukebox and makes it working again. My dad's handwriting is on all the 45. Crazy. Is that wild? For real. I have it. It's gorgeous. And one of the songs on there is "Oh Babe, What Would You Say" by Hurricane Smith. This is what we used in the movie Fever Pitch, and it turned out to be my wife and I's one of our wedding songs. Isn't that crazy? It's just wild.
This is who Nan is.
She's the best.
If you want to know who Jimmy's wife is, my partner of 30 years, that's it.
That's where we met. By the way, our first kiss on Fever Pitch was Halloween.
No.
Halloween night, we had a raging party, remember?
Was I there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was super fun.
There.
Yeah. It was super fun. Yeah, that was our first kiss.
Oh
Halloween.
My God!
So Halloween.
I didn't know any of this was happening either. You guys kept it a secret for a long time.
It wasn't really happening. It was just kind of bubble.
We will be right back.